So I need to get this off my chest because it's been eating me alive. 6 months ago, my entire world came crashing down on a night train, and I am still trying to piece together how I missed all the signs. For context, I am 34M, married to Anna, 32F, for 8 years. We met in college, dated for 3 years before getting married. I thought we had a solid relationship. We rarely fought, had similar goals, and I genuinely believed she was my person. I work in consulting, which requires a lot of travel, usually 2 to 3 days a week. Anna works in marketing for a local firm. The trip that changed everything was supposed to be a standard client meeting in Chicago. Fly out Monday, meetings Tuesday and Wednesday, fly back Thursday. Pretty routine stuff, but the meetings went better than expected, and we wrapped up early Wednesday afternoon. Instead of staying the extra night like planned, I decided to surprise Anna and catch the overnight train home. They always preferred trains over flights when possible. Less hassle, more comfortable, and there's something romantic about night trains that Anna and I used to joke about. We'd taken a few romantic train trips early in our relationship, so I thought she'd appreciate the gesture of coming home early. I booked a last-minute ticket for the 11:47 p.m. departure. It was one of those older trains with the small compartments, and due to some mix-up with reservations, I ended up getting reassigned from my original car to Car 7, Compartment B. The conductor apologized for the confusion. Apparently there was some issue with heating in Car 3. I didn't think much of it at the time. Just wanted to get home to my wife. The universe has a twisted sense of humor sometimes. If I stayed in my original seat, if the heating had worked, if I just taken the morning flight like I usually do, none of this would have happened. But here we are. Okay, deep breath. Here's where everything went to hell. I boarded the train around 11:30, found my new compartment in Car 7. It was one of those old-style setups with 4 seats facing each other, then converts to sleeping berths at night. When I walked in, there were already 2 people there. A woman with a scarf wrapped around her head and oversized sunglasses. Weird for nighttime, but whatever, and a guy maybe mid-30s in a business suit. I took the seat diagonally across from them, nodded politely, and settled in with my laptop to finish some work. The train pulled out right on schedule. About an hour into the journey, I looked up from my screen and something about the woman nagged at me. The way she tucked her hair behind her ear, the shape of her hands, even her laugh when the guy made some joke. It was so familiar but I couldn't place it. Then she adjusted her scarf and I caught a glimpse of her profile. My blood went cold. It was Anna, my wife. The woman I'd been planning to surprise was sitting 3 feet away from me, and she had no idea I was there. My first thought was relief. What a crazy coincidence. I was about to say something when the guy leaned closer to her and put his hand on her thigh. Not in a friendly way. In a very familiar, intimate way. And she didn't pull away. I sat there frozen, watching my wife smile at this stranger's touch. They were talking in low voices, laughing softly. The guy ordered wine from the attendant. Anna never drinks wine on trains. She always says it makes her sick with the motion. But there she was, sipping wine and letting this man's hand wander higher up her leg. I pulled out my phone, hands shaking, and pretended to scroll while actually recording. I don't know why. Instinct, I guess. Some part of my brain was already in damage control mode. Jesus, I am shaking just typing this. Some of you have been asking for more details, and honestly, writing this out is helping me process it, so here goes. After I started recording, I tried to act normal, kept my head down, pretended to work on my laptop. But I couldn't stop watching them. It was like witnessing a car crash in slow motion. The guy introduced himself to her as Marcus. I caught that much. They were talking about work, travel, the usual small talk, but there was this undercurrent of flirtation that made my stomach turn. Anna was using this voice I'd never heard before, softer, more playful. She kept touching his arm when she laughed. Around 1 a.m., the attendant came through to convert the seats to sleeping berths. This is where it gets really messed up. I am in the upper berth on one side, and they in the berths directly across from me. Anna on top, Marcus below. There's maybe 4 feet between us. I pretended to be asleep but kept my phone recording audio. The things I heard. God, I can unhear them. They were whispering, but sound carries in those old train cars. Anna was telling him about her boring husband who's always traveling, and how she feels so lonely in our house. She said she'd been thinking about this for weeks, since they'd been texting. This wasn't some random encounter. They'd been planning this. Marcus was saying all the right things. How beautiful she was, how she deserved better, how he'd been thinking about her constantly since they met at that conference. What conference? Anna never mentioned any conference to me. Then around 2 a.m., I heard her climb down from her berth. I am not going to go into graphic detail about what happened next, but let's just say the thin walls of those train compartments don't provide much privacy. I lay there in the dark, 3 feet away from my wife, listening to her betray 8 years of marriage. I recorded everything, every whisper, every sound, every moment of her choosing someone else over me. The worst part wasn't even the physical betrayal. It was listening to her talk about our life together like it was some prison she was trapped in. She complained about our house, our routines, even our dog Max. She made jokes about my predictable work schedule and how I never surprise her anymore. The irony would have been funny if it wasn't destroying me. She told him she'd been planning to leave for months, but was waiting for the right time. She said meeting him was like a sign from the universe. They fell asleep around 4 a.m., her in his berth. I didn't sleep at all. I just lay there staring at the ceiling, listening to my wife's breathing mixed with another man's, planning what I was going to say when the sun came up. By dawn, I had made my decision. I was going to confront her, but not how she expected. Not with anger or tears or begging. I was going to be ice cold and let her know that I knew exactly who she really was. The train was supposed to arrive at 7:30 a.m. At 7:15, I climbed down from my berth and got dressed. Anna was still curled up with Marcus, both of them completely unaware that her husband had witnessed everything. So at 7:15 a.m., train pulling into the station in about 15 minutes. Anna and Marcus are still tangled up together, completely oblivious. I am standing there in my wrinkled business clothes, overnight bag in hand, watching my wife wake up in another man's arms. She stirred first, probably heard the conductor's announcement about arrival. I watched her realize where she was, saw that little smile cross her face as she looked at Marcus. Then she started to get up to gather her things. That's when she saw me. I'll never forget the look on her face. Pure terror. Her mouth actually fell open and she just froze, half standing, still in her underwear. Marcus woke up from the commotion and when he saw me standing there, he started scrambling for his clothes. Going somewhere, Anna? I said it quietly, calmly. I practiced this moment in my head for the past 3 hours. She managed to stammer out, Jack. What are you? How are you? Surprise, honey. I finished my meetings early and decided to take the night train home. Thought I'd surprise my loving wife. I kept my voice level, almost conversational. Looks like I did. Marcus was frantically trying to put on his shirt. Look, man, I didn't know she was married. Shut up, I said, not even looking at him. This is between me and my wife. Anna had managed to throw on her dress and was trying to fix her hair. Jack, please, let me explain. Explain what, exactly? How you've been planning to leave me for months. How our entire marriage is apparently a prison you trapped in. How you've been texting this guy and planning this whole romantic getaway. Her face went white. She realized I heard everything. Or maybe you want to explain what conference you two met at. Because I love to hear about this conference that you somehow forgot to mention to your boring, predictable husband. The train was slowing down now, pulling into the station. Other passengers were gathering their things, completely unaware of the drama unfolding in compartment 7B. Anna tried a different approach. Tears started flowing. Jack, please, I can explain everything. I never meant for this to happen. I love you, I was just confused. You love me? I actually laughed. It came out harsh and bitter. Anna, I heard you tell this man that they've been planning to leave me for months. I heard you complain about our dog. Our dog, Anna. You made fun of Max to your lover. That hit her. She loved that dog, or at least I thought she did. Marcus had finished dressing and was trying to edge toward the door. I am just going to. No, not. I blocked his path. Going to sit down and wait until I am finished talking to my wife. The train lurched to a stop. We arrived. I turned back to Anna, who was now crying harder. What's going to happen? Going to get off this train and go wherever you want. But not coming home. I am changing the locks today, and my lawyer will be in touch. Jack, please don't do this. We can work through this. Work through this? I pulled out my phone and played back about 10 seconds of audio from the night. Her voice, telling Marcus how she couldn't wait to be free of me. She went completely silent. I hope you had a pleasant night's journey, Anna, I said, slinging my bag over my shoulder. Enjoy your new life. And I walked off that train, leaving my wife and her lover sitting there in shock. Holy shit. The response to this story has been overwhelming. Thanks to everyone sending support. This part covers what happened immediately after I got off that train, and honestly, it's when the reality of everything really hit me. So I walked off the train at 7:30 a.m., leaving Anna and Marcus in that compartment. I didn't look back, didn't wait to see what they did. I just walked straight to the taxi stand and went home. The ride home was surreal. I kept expecting to wake up, like this was all some nightmare. But every time I closed my eyes, I could hear Anna's voice talking about leaving me, complaining about our life together. The driver kept trying to make small talk, but I just stared out the window. I got home around 8:15. Our house looked exactly the same. Anna's coffee mug still in the sink from Tuesday morning. Max's toys scattered around the living room. But everything felt different, like I was seeing it all for the first time. Max was so excited to see me. Poor guy had been staying with our neighbor Mrs. Chen while Anna was supposed to be at work. That's when it hit me. Anna had told me she was working late all week on a big project. She planned this whole thing while I was traveling. Probably told everyone she was swamped with work. I sat on the floor with Max for maybe 20 minutes, just scratching his ears and trying to process everything. This dog that Anna had complained about to her lover was going crazy with happiness that I was home. Made me wonder what else she'd been lying about. Around 9 a.m., I called my buddy Dave, who's a divorce attorney. Yeah, I know how that sounds, like I was being cold and calculating. But honestly, hearing Anna talk about planning to leave me for months, I realized I needed to protect myself. Dave came over around 10:30 with a locksmith. We changed all the locks, and I gave him copies of the recordings. He listened to about 5 minutes and said, "Jesus, Jack. I am sorry, man. But this is going to make things a lot cleaner." While we were changing locks, Anna started calling. First my phone, then the house phone, then texting. The text started apologetic, then got angry, then desperate. Some highlights. "Jack, please come home, we need to talk. I made a mistake but we can fix this. Being cruel and vindictive. I am coming home to get my things. You can just throw away 8 years." I didn't respond to any of them. Around 2 p.m., she showed up. I watched through the window as she tried her key, then started pounding on the door. She was crying, yelling about how we needed to talk like adults. Mrs. Chen came out and tried to calm her down. I opened the door but kept the security chain on. My lawyer will contact you about dividing assets, I said. Everything else goes through him. Jack, please, just let me explain. It wasn't supposed to happen like this. Like what, Anna? You weren't supposed to get caught? She tried a different approach. What about Max? You can keep him from me. That actually made me angry. The dog you complained about to your boyfriend? The one you said was another burden tying you down? Yeah, Max is staying with me. I closed the door. She stayed outside for another hour, alternating between crying and yelling. Eventually, Mrs. Chen convinced her to leave. That evening, Dave called with an update. Anna had already contacted a lawyer too. She was claiming it was a temporary lapse in judgment and wanted to try counseling. Her lawyer was pushing for reconciliation. What do you want to do? Dave asked. I thought about it for maybe 2 seconds. File the papers. I want this over. Dave filed the papers 3 days after the train incident. Anna's lawyer immediately pushed back, claiming I was being unreasonably vindictive and that the marriage could be saved with counseling. They wanted a 6-month separation period first. I said absolutely not. The recordings made everything pretty clear-cut, and Dave was confident we could get it done quickly with a no-fault filing based on irreconcilable differences. But Anna wasn't giving up. She started showing up at my work, calling my friends, even contacted my parents trying to get them to convince me to fight for our marriage. My mom actually fell for it at first. Anna was always good at playing the victim. Then Dave's investigator found some interesting stuff. Remember Marcus from the train? Turns out this wasn't his first rodeo. The PI found records of at least 2 other affairs he had with married women through these business conferences. Apparently, he had a whole system, targeting women in unhappy marriages, playing the sympathetic ear, then swooping in as the knight in shining armor. But here's the kicker. Anna wasn't as innocent as she was pretending to be. The investigator found evidence of at least 1 other affair from 2 years ago. Some guy from her gym. Credit card receipts for hotel rooms, deleted text messages recovered from phone records, the whole 9 yards. When Dave showed me the evidence, I actually felt relieved. I know that sounds weird, but it meant this wasn't just some momentary weakness on the train. Anna had been cheating on me for years, and I'd been completely oblivious. The gym affair explained a lot of things that hadn't made sense at the time. Her suddenly wanting to work out more, being protective of her phone, those girls' nights that became more frequent. I'd actually been proud of her for getting into fitness. What an idiot. When we presented all this evidence, Anna's lawyer basically threw in the towel. There was no way they could paint this as a one-time mistake anymore. Anna agreed to an uncontested divorce with a pretty generous settlement for me. I kept the house, Max, most of our savings. She just wanted it over quietly. The final hearing was in October, about 5 months after the train incident. Anna showed up looking like she lost 20 pounds, dark circles under her eyes. She barely looked at me the entire time. When the judge asked if there was any possibility of reconciliation, I said, "No, Your Honor. The marriage has been over for years. I just didn't know it." Anna started crying, but I felt nothing. Absolutely nothing. Divorce was finalized on October 15th. 8 years of marriage officially over. Here's the really messed up part. After everything was final, Anna tried to contact me one more time. She sent a long email talking about how she made mistakes but that she never stopped loving me, and that Marcus had manipulated her when she was vulnerable. She wanted to know if we could try being friends for Max's sake. I deleted the email without responding. Alright, this is the final part. It's been 6 months since the divorce was finalized, and people have been asking for an update on how I am doing now. Honestly, it's been a roller coaster, but I am in a much better place. First, the practical stuff. I kept the house, which was the right call. Changed everything about it though. New furniture, painted the walls, even redid the kitchen. It doesn't feel like our house anymore. It feels like mine. Max loves having the whole backyard to himself, and he honestly never seemed happier. Work has been good. I actually requested more travel assignments for a while, kept me busy and helped me avoid sitting around feeling sorry for myself. My boss knew what happened, small company, word gets around, and was really supportive. Even gave me a promotion in December. Dating. Yeah, that's complicated. I went on a few dates around Christmas, but honestly, I am not ready for anything serious. The trust issues are real. I find myself analyzing everything women say, looking for lies or red flags. It's exhausting. My therapist says it's normal and will get better with time. Oh yeah, therapy. Started going in September. Best decision I made. Helped me realize that Anna's cheating wasn't about anything I did or didn't do. Some people are just selfish and dishonest, and no amount of love or effort can change that. As for Anna, I heard bits and pieces through mutual friends, though I don't ask. Marcus dumped her after about 2 months, exactly like everyone predicted. She apparently had a bit of a breakdown, quit her job, moved back in with her parents for a while. Last I heard, she was working at some small marketing firm and dating someone new. A few months ago, she tried to contact me through Mrs. Chen, asking if she could see Max. I said no. Max is happy and settled, and I am not opening that door. Some people think I am being petty, but honestly, she made her choice on that train. The weirdest part of all this? I am actually grateful it happened. I know that sounds insane, but hear me out. I could have spent another 5 or 10 years married to someone who didn't really want to be with me. I could have had kids with her, bought a bigger house, gotten even more entangled. Instead, I found out the truth when I was still young enough to start over. That night train was the worst and best thing that ever happened to me. To everyone who's been following this story and sending support, thank you. Writing it all out has been therapeutic, and reading your comments has helped me feel less alone in this mess. For anyone going through something similar, get a good lawyer, document everything, and don't let them gaslight you into thinking you overreacting. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. And sometimes the universe puts you in exactly the right place at exactly the right time to learn the truth about someone. Even when it hurts like hell. That's my story. Thanks for reading.